Hello, welcome to another edition of Meanwhile in the Falklands.
Hello!
Still not... That blows the sound every single week. We're still in the UK. I'm not on so much medication this week. And I'm joined on the bed. Oh, it's like the Big Breakfast. Do you remember? They used to do interviews on the bed.
They did, I remember that. That's a long time ago now, though.
So
do.
No, the Big Breakfast is not on anymore. It was on
but
Channel
there's
4.
another company that does interviews in bed.
Oh, really?
They all climb into this bed and do an interview.
Oh,
and
so
they're all like in dresses and all made up in this bed.
So it's not
funny.
original then, that what we're doing? It's a
I don't
shame,
know.
isn't it?
That's a shame.
Okay, so I'm joined with daughter Connie, who's with us from university.
Hello.
Any latest news on your university update? Do they still think that they're going to be starting again on the 20th of April?
They still think
They still think that, bless them.
Well, I don't know whether
Delusional. Delusional they
I
are.
don't think it's a start. I think it's just a reopen so they can like use the library. I think that's what they're trying to do, so people can go into the library and use it rather than we're going to open all of university and classes are going to be back on.
Okay.
I think it's facilities are going to be open.
Facility. I don't particularly like the word facility, but anyway, that's just me. Talking of
music, furlong. Furloughed.
Oh, yes.
Furloughed.
Yes, I saw a tweet the other day and it said something about people using the word furloughed like they knew what it meant 2 weeks ago. Did you find out what it meant?
Not a clue, but I've heard it so many times. I'm going to have to look it up in a dictionary now.
Send us in. Engage with us, listener. Tell us what you think. Talking for things that annoy Paula, and I do have a list, actually.
It's a really fun game.
No, seriously, I've got a list on the wall back in the office in FITV Towers, things that annoy Paula, and one of them is when you write a press release or anything, please, people, you evacuate a building or a place. You don't evacuate people unless you give them an enema, okay? So, top tip for that. Secondly, there has been a little bit of criticism I noticed on Facebook as regards sound, not so much on FITV, but to the radio station as well, about the press briefings. I think they're doing them in the town hall these days, aren't they?
Yes, they are, yeah.
And there is, I know, from experience being in a FIODA production, there is like this acoustic bubble just in front of the steps, which are known as the Jim Davidson steps, by the way, because they were put in especially for when he did a CSE show.
Yeah,
years ago.
that I've seen that bubble bouncing around in the town hall many a time.
No, in all seriousness, if you watch any of the Shakespeare thing that we did in the round, you'll notice that there are people who stand in that, just where Leona Roberts is sort of sitting, there is an acoustic bubble. You have to speak very slowly, and there's a massive echo at that point. And I don't think there's a lot of things you can do with it. It does bother us for FIODA, and we're trying to work out what we can do about it. But anyway, that's really what I was going to say about that.
Well, just any listener out there that's got a few million, if they want to build a new theatre in the Falklands to get over this acoustic bubble, please contact FIODA.
But I have to say, there are other things.
I feel like there's more pressing problems than another theatre.
No, a theatre would be good because everyone needs a bit of theatre. But the lighthouse, which, as you know, Steve, I have taken to painting. I'm going through a lighthouse phase with my painting. That needs a lot of money to do up. So if you have got some buckets of money, you can throw them at the lighthouse.
Maybe we could put the theatre at the lighthouse and combine the two.
Yes. The other thing that needs a lot of money to have done to it is the cathedral, of course.
Yes. Yes. The cathedral built 127 years ago now.
Yeah.
And it's recently had the roof done, so it's now dry, which is fantastic. But the windows need, I won't say replacing, but certainly the window frames need to be redone so the stained glass doesn't come out.
The organ
absolutely is desperate need of repair and a bit of tender care, and also the brickwork on most of the cathedral is in need of attention as well. So again, if all the Church of England goers in the UK give £1 each, that would solve our problems.
Yes, it would. Just talking of the cathedral, the Reverend Ian has started up a YouTube channel for Christchurch Cathedral, and I noticed that they had filmed Paul Freer, who's the organist, playing the organ, and so take a look at their. They've now got a Twitter feed and a YouTube channel as well, so have a look at them.
Or wouldn't it be brilliant if we could attract some really, I mean, Paul is fantastic, but, some really well-known organists from all over the world to come and play at the Falklands.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I'd love to. Do you know what I'd love to hear? Yeah, the Game of Thrones theme played on our organ. As you walk.
What, that classic
Yeah.
ecclesiastical... Don't sing it. Copyright. That famous ecclesiastical tune there, the Game of Thrones theme. If you also have a look at the FITV channel, let's give that a plug, FITV YouTube channel, if you have a look through, I think it's in the history section, we have got a piece that was done by Michelle Winnard all about the cathedral. You have a walk around there and up into the bell tower and stuff.
Yes, please also give Ollie and Hannah a big like for yesterday. It was dressing up day, wasn't it? I think, or something like that. And
sent me a message saying, "Have we got any footage of people in fancy dress?" Yes, we have. We have Thomas dressed as Elsa doing his work one day because why wouldn't you? We've got loads of the Jelly Tots fancy dress party, which is one of my favourite things throughout the year because the costumes are amazing. And there was one year this young lad, I mean, he must have only been about 3 or 4, came as Yoda, and his costume was completely knitted and perfect colours. It was absolutely wonderful. I think I persuaded you to go in costume one year, didn't I?
Yes.
And that's all we're going to say about that.
That's all we're going to say about that.
We
don't talk about that.
Anyway, we're on the bed again. Bed knobs and broomsticks. I really love that film. It's that something we can get through that Netflix thing.
That's Netflix thing. That shows your age somewhat thing.
Do they show...
No, but there's Disney Plus, which I really want to get.
Oh.
Which is like Netflix, but just Disney.
Okay.
And it has like Hannah Montana on it.
Oh, yes, I remember those days.
Oh, my goodness, that takes me back a while,
yeah,
yes.
it takes me back too. What's your favourite Disney movie?
Mary Poppins.
Really?
Yeah.
Back then, were you... I don't think you were in that... I remember you and Hazel were much more into Robin Hood because it had less peril in it.
Hazel was into Robin Hood, and because she was the oldest, I just watched it.
Oh, I see. Okay. Because if you ask Hazel now, and she's what, 22, you ask her what the scariest if you ask her what the scariest movie she's ever seen is, she will say it is Sleeping Beauty, because the dragon.
There's a dragon in it.
Yeah, and we took her to see, what was that film? Is it The Hobbit? We took her to see.
Yeah,
and at the end of the first,
dragon.
at the end of the first, spoiler alert. The end of the first film, we were sitting in this quite packed cinema, and at the end you saw the dragon's eye open, and there was absolute silence in the cinema, and then Hazel just goes, "That's stupid," because I think she thought it was going to be a conclusion and not a part of a trilogy.
No, she thought that was the whole movie.
Yeah. Now,
she didn't realise it came in 3 parts.
Well, the book isn't in 3 parts, and to be fair, having read to both Hazel and Connie, my lovely daughters, The Hobbit on many occasions when they were younger, I never got past that part. So it's it probably was thinking that was the end, to be honest.
Do you know, thinking about that is the Lord of the Rings. When the first Lord of the Rings film came out, you and the vicar went to see it the first day it opened, didn't you?
Oh, yes.
And then you saw it on your own. And then finally, I came with you.
Yeah, you were allowed.
And I was allowed. I had not read the book and still haven't read the book.
I know.
And we
Such
sat
a disappointment in my life.
Again, spoiler alert, the beginning of Lord of the Rings film
There's a lot of
starts with this massive long sort of speech by Galadriel, where she sort of gives you a brief overview of what's happened so far. And I remember you leaning towards me going, "That's the first 200 pages."
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I won't be reading that.
Pretty much.
But we came home, I don't know if you remember this, we came home and I'd got the next book out and I started to read it and you went, "What are you doing?" I went, "I'm reading the next. Have you read the first book?" Well, no. Then put it away. You don't get to read the second book.
Paula,
until you've read the
Paula
first.
has how to blag your way through Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
and
I know all
once
about-
was having a conversation with somebody who read the book about the character Tom Bombadil, who is not in the film, but plays this rather strange part in the book. And she completely blagged it to this person who was a bit of like me, a Lord of the Rings geek, that she read the book, all because she knew about Tom Bombadil.
Yeah, I love Tom Bombadil.
I
Anyway.
just got forced to watch all three of them.
Yeah, did you not think they were good though? Okay, so let's have an update on the Lego Harley Davidson, which is sitting on the table in the lounge. How's it going, you guys?
Connie?
Well, we have one more step to go, and then we have a motorbike, but we called Hazel, and Hazel's boyfriend just happened to be there. And he looked at it and went, "Is that a bike?" So
It's not bike-like yet.
it's not bike-like yet.
Yeah.
It's still pretty cool.
But you especially, Steve, are now like up for getting another one, really, aren't you?
Oh, yes. Well, especially now, alert Falklands, there is a Land Rover Discovery Lego model.
Oh, West Store, if you're listening to this, get
Oh,
it
my
in.
goodness. Why isn't that in the West
We're
Store?
not talking about West Store. Family Services, get it in.
Yes, absolutely. The Charnery, anybody,
Get it in.
any retail outlet, get in the Land
They all
Rover
get
Lego.
it in.
It'd be
That's
brilliant.
just going to be a lot of Lego Land
No,
Rover.
absolutely fabulous. I love that. I haven't been doing the Lego. I've been doing a crochet blanket with a load of yarn that I managed to get just before the lockdown happened. So I'm working my way through about 40 balls of wool at the moment. But have you finally started reading that book I bought you as well?
I've started reading a book I've got two. There's one of Chuck Clive Cussler, which I've decided to read second. And this one is, I can't remember the author. But yes,
Patterson.
James Patterson, there you go. Yes, I have.
Okay.
And I've got to about page 30.
Okay.
That's secretly
And it's a bit of a gripper. It's a bit of a gripper, to be honest. Don't want too much to spoil it, but it starts off in Miami Airport and it grabs you straight away. So it's good. I can't even remember the title of the book, but worth a read.
Not my cup of tea, I have to say. I'm reading my security blanket, which is Any Jane Austen. So I actually downloaded the dramatisations. You might like them, Connie, actually.
Well, I'm reading my uni work, which is not so gripping. It's very boring.
But you're nearly there, aren't you?
But I'm nearly finished.
We can see the finish line. We can see the finish
We
line.
hope, unless my lecturers don't like it, and then we're just stuffed, really.
Yes. Just on book recommendations, because we do tend to do some recommendations on the podcast every so often. I remember you got me into some fantasy fiction, Steve, when we went to Italy in '96, because you'd brought along a David Eddings book.
Oh, good old David Eddings.
Yeah, and I read that and I thought that was really good, and that really got me starting on reading fiction. So David Eddings is quite a gentle birth into fantasy fiction, would you not say?
Probably, yes. The three, other than the obviously Mr. Tolkien.
Yeah, I'm not into the Tolkien
Oh
thing.
well, he's the one who started it all, really. But there's Robert Jordan, The Wheel of Time, which
Now,
is
you see, I've heard about Robert. I did start to read a Robert Jordan years ago, and and this is no word of a lie, listener. He spent 8 pages describing somebody looking over their shoulder.
well, yes, it is.
Slow.
They are a bit mammoth, epic sort of books. They're all about 800 pages thick.
Yeah.
But they do grab you eventually.
Yeah. So
But yeah, David Eddings.
Raymond Feist.
Raymond Feist is the one,
I
yes.
liked him. Yeah, I
Raymond
like that
Feist
one.
is a good one as well. I can't remember which one of those is no longer with us, but anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
What are you doing? You're not reading books, are you?
I am.
Oh, other than your uni work.
Other than that's not a book though. That's
No.
just words.
No.
I've started rereading for the 3rd time. Just pointing out that Perks of Being a Wallflower
Okay. Why is that particularly?
because I like it.
Oh, you like that kind of book?
It's very good, actually.
It's also on Netflix.
Yes, I watched that the other evening, actually, and it's a very good film to watch. So,
Okay.
yes, can recommend the book and the film.
Have you read the book?
So just,
No, but you've recommended the book and I'm recommending the film.
anyway, we are obviously down in isolation, locked down here in deepest, darkest Hampshire. And I was thinking the other day, things you could do while you're in isolation.
Well, one of the things obviously that a lot of people are doing
Lego.
is are sending funny videos. Yes. So I'm getting quite a few of those from people. But I did see there's one the other day, and this guy, he'd made a belt out of money. I thought it was a waste of money personally.
So Steve didn't bring his phone with him and promised he wouldn't do any kind of silly dad jokes.
He lied.
He lied.
Yeah, got one in for my fans. I got one in.
There's a Facebook page called Falkland Rocks, or Falklands Rocks. I can't even remember which one it was. Falkland Rocks, I think it is. And go on there and you'll see some of the rocks that have been painted, pebbles that have been painted in the Falklands, and then they are hidden around Stanley and places, and you can find them, and you can either re-hide them, which I think is the main aim of the game, or you can keep them. If they're mine, I don't mind you keeping them. So we did that just before Christmas, didn't we? Do you remember? We went up to the lighthouse and we saw those whales from the track.
Well, they say whales.
Don't even begin with me, Stephen, on the whale jokes, okay? So all along the track towards the lighthouse was mined up until this year, wasn't it? And they're all now demined, all those beautiful beaches, along beautiful white sandy beaches.
The video of Dad yelling whales?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's the one. So there are some lovely painted rocks coming up in and around Stanley. It was started by a lady who was at MPA. She's now since left. But if you want to join that Facebook group, it is a closed group. But if you request to join it, I can approve your request. So top tips for painting rocks. First of all, paint them white first, and then the colours that you use are a lot more vivid. And don't forget to spray them with some clear acrylic paint or varnish afterwards, so that they weather the weather. Other things you can do in the Falklands, if you're self-isolating, obviously wool is a huge big part of the Falklands.
There's rather a large number of sheep there.
Large number of sheep. And what is amazing, and if you go on the FITV YouTube channel again, and have a look at the Saladero ram sale, which I think was either last year or the year before, and the amount of AI that's gone on and breeding in the Falkland Islands sheep. Years and years ago, the wool was really used for carpets and stuff like that because it's quite coarse. But over the years, they've got it down, and then now it's so fine and so soft. It's used to make underwear and suits and things like that.
Yes, and I'm going to plug Hugh Grierson here.
Hugh Grierson.
Because he has had a tailored suit made from his own wool,
and it's
from his own sheep, which is fantastic. And he occasionally on maybe a government house reception will wear it.
Yeah.
And he looks very dapper.
It is. It's lovely. It's lovely. If you are going to the Falklands or you're in the Falklands and you're listening to this and you think, you know what, I've been here a while and I've always wanted to learn how to spin or felt, you need to get hold of Jana or Margot at the Spinners and Weavers Guild. I think their information is in the info pages of the Penguin News. Contact them. Margot is the most patient and lovely lady, and she will teach you how to spin. And it's just a really nice pastime, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, like Jana is incredibly creative.
Oh yes.
She made a turkey vulture. Was it a
yes.
turkey vulture?
Now that's also on YouTube, FITV's YouTube channel. Have a look at the it was some art exhibition that Julie Halliday organised. What was it called? A to Z, Falklands A to Z art exhibition. That should be on our YouTube channel as well. And the turkey vulture.
So was the turkey vulture the T or the V in the whole A to Z? V.
It was the V. Yeah, all the artists were sort of summoned to the Malvina House Hotel. Let's give them a plug. And they were all dished out a letter of the alphabet, and you then had to go from there do your
I see.
do your
Okay.
thing. Richard got tea, so he'd painted Tumbledown, I think. We said to him he needed to have more elephants in it, but you know. Anyway, so you can do that, and you know, even if you've got 2 sticks, and get on do some knitting. Loads of YouTube channels to learn how to knit. Connie, I'm looking at you. So you can have a go at doing that. No, she's shaking her head. Anyway, Connie, what are you doing then in your self-isolation if you're not learning to knit or crochet?
I'm doing a lot of makeup. Well, uni work first.
Yes, priority.
Prioritise. And then doing a lot of wild makeup looks.
Oh, right, listen, so when I'm back on my feet, can we do some filming of you doing some makeup and then we can put it on FITV?
If you would like, yeah.
Would. Yes, I think that'd be great.
Sorry.
Yes, so that's going on your Instagram page,
Yes.
your looks.
Connie Rose. I'm sorry.
Hair and
hold on.
makeup, even I
yeah,
know
but
it.
I can't remember if it's a dot or an underscore.
Oh, okay. You have been. I bought you some.
Connie Rose dot hair and makeup.
Okay. You were doing some mosaic stuff as well, weren't you? That is your craft because I've seen you do that.
Well, yeah. Well, it's not my craft, but it's just fun to do.
It's fun to do.
And you get a lot of coasters out of it. So if someone in our house doesn't use a coaster, they're just
Yeah.
being-
You're there. You're
Yeah.
there.
So if you need a Lego model, a crocheted blanket, or some coasters, we're your people. You were doing some challenges as well. What you were saying about those for people who are not sort of crafty based?
Well, there's like song challenges on Instagram, whereas like think of a song that has a colour in the title of it, think of a song that has a number in the title of it, think of a song that makes you sad, think of a song that makes you happy, think of a song that...
Puff the Magic Dragon. That's a sad song for me. Always makes me
Yes,
cry.
I mean, I'm not going to even try to sing a part of it because it will just you'll
copyright.
immediately burst into floods.
Yeah, the last verse I think is really, really sad.
Yeah.
And then I did one where you had to find a song name with your name in the title, a song with your age in the title, a song with your birth month in the title.
Do you know what that says to
and
me?
a song with your zodiac sign in the title.
That says to me getting your personal information. Or am I being too sceptical?
That's very sceptical.
Well, this was
but
on my
probably
private
true.
account, so it was
Okay.
fine.
That's all right.
Yeah.
And then there's like just what's it called? Like exercise challenges, so like 30-day sit-up challenge, 30-day
Yeah, I'm not
squat
doing that.
challenge.
Mm.
No, I'm not saying do it to you personally. I'm saying if you want to, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes. I tried that just over a week ago.
Yeah,
I
and
tried
that's
to
why we're
make-
sitting
and that's
on the
why we're
bed.
sitting on the bed here
Currently, yes.
with the Zimmer frame next to me. So yes, there we go. To top it all off. Oh, hang on.
Well, hang on, listener.
The university society that I'm part of also, well, for all the people part of the society are doing challenges to raise money for I'm guessing it's the AMS charity.
Okay.
Okay.
The multiple sclerosis
Yeah. So last week, what did we do? Oh, we did a plank challenge. So the longer you held the plank for, the more money
You raised.
you raised.
Okay.
And then this one is you got to run up and down the stairs, but if you don't have stairs, you like do steps.
Okay.
Can I just say I would not currently run up and down the stairs
I'm not
that
going
we
to.
are in this house that we're staying in
No.
because
I wasn't going to because I'm 21 and actually know that.
Okay, good.
So I'm not 5.
Yeah, all I can think of is that, gosh, that would put such strain in your knees. That's all I can think of. Yes, so anyway, that brings us to the end of this podcast from the bed. Hopefully next week we'll be up and somewhere a bit more comfortable. Well, it's actually a really comfortable lying on the bed, isn't it?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can. Yeah, it's
What about the car?
We could do it in the car. That's a good idea. Yes. Going on an essential journey, perhaps.
I just meant
So
in the car in the drive.
then, if you are on FITV Facebook page, please give us a like, engage with us, have a look at what Ollie and Hannah are doing because they are doing some fab stuff, following the the spread of COVID-19, which at this present moment in time doesn't look like it's hit the Falkland Islands, although they have got quite a few people with those type of symptoms, haven't they?
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 people that have been reported with quite serious respiratory issues, but to date they've all been tested, and none of them supposedly have COVID-19. But I believe that the tests are not 100% guaranteed.
Oh dear.
So I think at least one of those people has been retested.
Oh, okay. Good luck with everybody. Self-isolate as much as you can. Have a look at the YouTube channel, the FITV YouTube channel. Hannah gave it a massive overhaul about 6 months ago, and is now has been putting up stuff regularly, so you can have a look at all our stuff down there. And if you're thinking about coming to live and work in the Falkland Islands, it's a great source to see what's going on and what the sort of terrain looks like and stuff like that.
Yeah.
FITV, of course, is free to air at the moment. You can have a look at that on our website, fitv.co.fk. Or if you're in the Falklands already, I think do you retune your TV?
You can yes. Let's be clear about this. If you're in Stanley, you can retune your television. But you've got to have a relatively up-to-date television. So if I believe if your television's like more than 10 years old, you'll struggle.
Okay.
So then you'll have to, if your television doesn't work with regards to retuning, then the alternative is to go to the website that you just mentioned and click on our channel, and you can watch it on the internet.
Yeah, special editions at the moment because it's a daily show. We don't normally do daily shows. Obviously, the emphasis is on the daily briefings, so there's a lot of that involved in it. But hopefully, every day is a day closer to coming out of isolation, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, that's how we think
Absolutely.
of it. So join us next week. Bye.
Bye for now. Bye.